Hey there guys, how are you today, and welcome to another episode of F1 2010 Career Mode. Go check out the other episodes if you have not seen them yet, but today we're going to be at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. We got points last time out in Spa, but now let's go to Monza for the 2010 Italian Grand Prix. So here we are coming across the line to start our fastest lap in Q1, heading down one of the longest pit straights in this season, over 200 miles an hour, getting ready to brake for the first very tight chicane. You can see we are coming towards some traffic, but we go through the chicane brilliantly, hitting all the apexes and having a good exit too. But yeah, we have got some traffic ahead of us that could affect us if they get in our way, but hopefully we can get around them. We're around the outside of Cubit, so it don't really matter here. And this car, look, Lucy is slowing down for us. The wreck under the bridge now for the left and right at the start of sector 2. Very important to get a good exit over here to go towards the two less no corners. That's where a lot of lap time can be gained or lost. Now, double right hand, the first one we go a bit wide, you don't want to go too aggressive through that, otherwise you will go wide and crash. And second time again, similar story, so we can get a good exit now on another long straight here at the temple of speed in Italy at Monza, as we go coming towards the end of sector 2. I think this lap has been pretty good so far. Now we're coming towards one of the best corners in Formula 1. We're using as much of the track as possible here to get the fastest exit, the fastest route through that corner. I thought we did that pretty nicely there. Maybe a tiny bit of corner cutting, but the game didn't pick up on it, so I didn't really care. And now we're coming down to Parabolica, the final corner on the circuit. We do go a bit wide, mess it up a bit. But it's okay, we're going to get a good exit now to go down the start and finish straight to get a lap time of 1 minute 27.248. Pretty decent.
Good work, mate. We're through to the next session.
So as our engineer just said, we have got out of Q1, which is a fantastic result for us in the Virgin Racing team. We finished the session in P14, we were fairly comfortable. Shanduk, the beast, did brilliantly to get out of that session. And yeah, the session was obviously the fastest driver of the two Red Bull drivers, followed by Hamilton, Alonso and Button. But yeah, we can be delighted with that. And now I guess we have to focus on going into Q2.
Great job. We're through to the shootout.
And yeah, as you can see, we got through Q2. We finished that one in P8. We had a great lap time. And now let's go for pole position. So here we are, about to start our first proper lap in Q3, the pole position shootout. You can see there's only about a minute left of the session. So this is the only lap we are going to have. We did have like a banker lap of 1 minute 50. We had a spin or something. That was a bit of a disaster, but never mind. Going through the first chicane here quite nicely. We are obviously going for pole position. It has to be the aim. But I don't think that's going to be really possible in this car. But, you know, we always do our best on this channel. So we're going to give it all we have. That's for sure. We're going to be super aggressive on this lap. We have to. Now, end of sector 1. Now, going through the chicane. We have to have a nice run through here. We do it perfectly, to perfection in my opinion. That's how I love to do that chicane. I love this track actually as well. Going through the two less moves, which I thought I could have done better in Q1. We get that part pretty good, hitting all the apexes. And then here, we actually go a bit wide and miss the apex and have a bit of a slow run onto what is kind of like the back straight, coming towards the end of sector 2. But I think we have had a decent lap so far. I don't know if pole position was on the cards or not. Let's see what we do now coming into sector 3. We don't have such a good run through this chicane, especially in comparison to Q1, where I thought I did brilliantly through there. So I reckon we've lost some time there, but now we're going to come down this long straight towards Parabolica corner, the final corner on the circuit. We go a bit wide again. We need to really master this corner if we're going to succeed on the circuit. And we're going to come across the line now to get a 1 minute 26.351.
Into 10th place on the grid.
Annoyingly, that's only enough for P10, but that is pretty good in this car. We could have maybe got to P8 had we had a couple of neater corners. I think P7 would have been just too far ahead. But yeah, I reckon we can be pretty excited. And now look ahead to race day at the Italian Grand Prix. Here we are on the grid at Monza. Lewis Hamilton on pole position for McLaren. Where we are in P10, our rival Petrol in P11, and our teammate in P24. If we hold our starting position, we will get a point, but can we move forward There's only one way to find out, as the lights have gone out, and here we go at the Italian Grand Prix. We had a good start, firing right past Nico Rosberg and getting into the slipstream of Robert Kubica and Michael Schumacher ahead of us. We're going to go to the inside for the chicane, try to get a good run out. Kubica goes across the corner, actually spins out on the curve. He shouldn't have cut the corner, what a cheat. But through all of that, we actually got into P7, we're getting 3 whole places. And this would be enough for 6 points, which would be brilliant for us if we can hold position. We're going to move on now towards the start of Sector 2 here on lap 1. To my favourite corner on the circuit, I would say. We don't do it as well as we did in qualifying. But we have got McLaren of Jenson Button ahead of us, while we've got the Sauber of Zeta Rosa behind us. I don't know how much further forward we're going to be able to move in this car, because obviously Button's got a much faster car. But we actually go into him there. He goes too slowly through that corner. We've got a great run on him now, down the back straight. We're in a slipstream, but I think he's still got a faster car than us, more power basically. The Mercedes engine must have more power than the Cosworth one. And we're going to come down to break him. We have to get a good run on him through here, do it perfectly. And I reckon we can have him down to Parabolic and get to 4x2 there. We actually ran into the back of him again. We're so lucky not to have front ring damage. And we are still right in the slipstream. I don't know when we're going to be able to make a move, but I do really want to, because it would be awesome to overtake Jenson Button. We're going to have a look there, but we just don't have the grip to go around the outside. Not yet anyway. So we're going to have to stay right behind Jenson Button. Do our best to overtake him, but he's so much faster going down the pit straight. It really is unbelievable. We will do our best. Make it as late as possible for the chicane. And the AI is so slow through here, we're actually able to overtake Button. That's better than a Ricciardo overtake. That was a fantastic move up the inside. And now we're in P6. Moving on to later in lap 2, we've got a brilliant exit out of here. I'm going to fly past the Ferrari's Felipe Massa to get P5 with 10 points if we can finish here. And now we've got multiple race winner Sebastian Vettel ahead of us in his Red Bull. Of course, the Red Bull isn't really suited to the circuit. They struggle here in real life sometimes, but pretty impressive to be racing him in this car, that's for sure. So let's see what we can do with Sebastian Vettel. As we come to that period, Felipe Massa hasn't finished us yet. He's going to try to go around the outside. You can see he drew alongside us here, but we're going to outbrake him into the chicane. And for now, at least hold now P4 for some momentum to the pits. Talking of going into the pits, lap 3 is our in lap. We can see we haven't fallen back too much from Sebastian Vettel, but this is going to be our in lap. We're going to try to get an undercut on the field. It would be pretty useful. And yeah, we've got away from Felipe Massa just about. I think we're being pretty competitive. We seem to have some pace on the circuit. But now we have to slow down for the speed limiter, pit limit, for a pit stop. Now come on boys, we need a good pit stop. I'll buy you all the beer or any other drink that you wish to have if we can get a sub 3-second pit stop. Let's see what we can do, guys. Oh my goodness me. They put on options. No. What are you doing? You don't get a beer, that's for sure. You don't get a beer. I'm going to come out in P19, which is fine because we're doing a good undercut. But they put on options, which means we're going to have to do a 2-stop, because of course you need the option and the prime tyre. I did not choose a 2-stop strategy in an 11-lap race. Are you nuts? What are you doing? No wonder we're at the back of the grid, you morons. Why the hell are you putting on the option tyre? Seriously, I think that's a glitch or something. I don't know what happened there. But they put on the options. No, we're going to have to push like crazy now. We're going to rescue points today. Here we are on lap 5. Of course, we're pushing like crazy. And we're overtaking Button into Parabolica. Good move there. And he is being held up by a teammate, Lucas Di Grassi. It's a bit of teamwork there, because Di Grassi is very slow. And I believe he must be on the prime tyre, starting on the prime tyre. I don't know what happened there. And I've asked to pit in this lap, but I don't know if I actually will. Button's coming back at us. So we're going to have to try to dive up the inside of Lucas Di Grassi here into the first corner. Good move there. We're actually in P3 now because other people are pitted. So we're doing a 2-stop thanks to our stupid team. So yeah, we're going to have to push like mad now. Here we are now 1 lap later on lap 7. We're going to pit in this lap instead of on lap 6. You can see we are actually leading the race because we did do an undercut on all those guys by pitting early originally. And of course then we were able to put on brand new option tyres and had really good pace. But we're going to have to come in now and do a pit stop. So imagine if I put on primes, we could have been winning this race. Can you imagine how nuts that would be for me to win the Italian Grand Prix? But instead we're going to have to go into the pit lane and lose a whole bundle of positions. But I'm hoping I'll be able to fight back and rescue some points. Now come on boys, first of all, please put on the right tyres. And I'll buy you a pizza and a beer if you can get us out back in the points. But you can see that's really impossible to really slip down to P17.
Exit.
4.2 second pit stop. Not good enough, guys. I'm really annoyed right now, actually, about this. Coming out now in P19, we're going to cut across the track, cause Schumacher, who's all the way down here, don't know why, to go across us. We're going to try to go up the inside, but we simply brake too late and have to cut across the chicane. And I think I'm going to give him back the position. I'm going to be fair. I did cut across that chicane, and I have given him back the position. And now in P20, we're going to 3 laps to go. So I don't know what we're going to do here. We're going to have to try to have a massive fight back. We're going to have to obviously start with Michael Schumacher. Of course, we should have some really good pace and some fresh tyres. Sadly, it's not fresh option tyres. See, had they forced us to go in the second time for options, at this point, it may have been okay, but we're on primes. We run into Michael Schumacher, we're so much faster than him. At this stage of the race, I know it's crazy to say, we're spinning around trying to get our wing down to get faster. Straight line speed, we are going to have to go for Schumacher here, get a brilliant exit, hopefully. A bit like we did in qualifying, we're going to have to really a few qualifying laps if we're going to make any progress through here. We're going to get into the slipstream on Michael Schumacher, we're going to try to make a move like we did in Jensen Button and Parabolica. He's feeling very defensive. He's going to brake and try to go round the outside on Michael Schumacher in Parabolica. That, I know we're having a crap race, that's a fantastic move there to get into P19. And now we have to move on to chase Kovalainen. Issue is that Michael Schumacher is still right behind us, while some other cars coming out the pit lane there. So we're now in P17, but there are cars right behind us, including Schumacher, of course, who is going to be a danger in that Mercedes. And we go a little bit wide again. We're getting very hot under the collar here. And we're going to get a terrible exit going through here. Michael Schumacher is now right up our backside. And he's going to try to get a run here. We had fantastic battles between Vettel and Alonso here over the years. But is Schumacher going to try and do something to us there? Yes, he's going around the outside. We touch wheels, but we're going to have to try to outbrake him going into the chicane and get a good run. And chase after the next car, who I believe is going to be Jensen Button. And here we are now on lap 10, trying to chase Jensen Button. Of course, he has got a much faster car still, let's be honest, even if we've got better tyres at the moment. We are going to push as hard as possible. He is quite a few seconds ahead. We're going to see what we can do. You never know what can happen in Formula 1. We've got to attack these corners as hard as we dare if we're going to get anywhere today. And we actually go wide into the gravel, we spin, and our front ring is gone. And Schumacher's gone flying past us, and some more cars are coming now. We're going to try to spin around, but we almost spun around too much there, and it's going a bit wrong. And now the Grassi has come flying past us and Kovalainen. But more importantly, we don't have a front wing. But that is a real issue for us here today. We obviously have to chase these guys without a front wing, because we know if we go into the pit lane, we're going to finish last. So we might as well just try to do the rest of the race without a front wing. I know that's crazy, but we're really struggling with the few fast corners without a front wing, because of course front wings give you downforce. And all of that, so it's not going to go too well. But obviously we are going to try to break Parabolica, maybe get without the downforce, get much faster straight line speed and try to catch him down the straight. The saying tells me this isn't a good strategy, but we're not going to go in. We are going to try to just finish the lap, finish the final lap with no front wing. Let's see how this goes. We are coming round to finish the Grand Prix in P21 with no front wing. Maybe we should have gone in the pit lane, I don't know. But ultimately, guys, had the team put on the right tyres at the first pit stop, I wouldn't have had to push so hard and we could have got some decent points.
But at least we got to the end.
I'm not saying I would have won, but if I would have been 20 seconds up the road, or maybe that isn't so much actually, but really it's more because the front wing, 30 seconds, I would have been somewhere battling for the points. And that would have been a much better race. But what, guys, can we do? You know, it's not such a bad result for this car, I guess. Shame to be beaten by a teammate. Now let's have a look at the driver and constructor standings. So driver standings wise, we're in P11. Still not too bad, behind Kubica and Petrov still. Vettel is leading, quite a big lead over his teammate Mark Webber. Hamilton just behind. In the constructors, we're maintaining P6. We're not going to catch Renault, as I said before. Williams have gained a couple of points on us, I believe. And yeah, obviously Red Bull still have a huge lead over McLaren, Mercedes and Ferrari. So yeah, guys, that wasn't the best one, was it? But you know what I'm like. I'm always doing my best and pushing. So it's a shame it didn't go so well, but we have to look forward now, next week, to go to Marina Bay for the 2010 Singapore Grand Prix.